Welcome to Prince Maths Clinic, the e-learning solution at your pace and time.
We want to find all the real values of x for which 2 to the power of 3x plus 1 minus 17 multiplied by 2 to the power of 2x, close the bracket, plus 2 to the power of x plus 3 equal to 0. So our job is to look for the right value of x for which the left hand side will be equals to the right hand side. Looking at this question is an exponential equation, and we have dealt with some exponential equation. You can check on the description to see the link to other exponential questions that have been treated so that we can properly understand how to deal with exponential equation. Now, I want to factor out 2 to the power of x because I have 2 to the power of, I can factor out 2 to the power of x from this part, from this part, and from this part. So if I do that, I will have 2 to the power of x, open bracket. Now, if I pull out 2 to the power of x from here, what I am going to have will be 2 to the power of 2x plus 1. Now, how do you know you are correct? Based on the laws of indices, the bases are the same, so therefore add the power. So if you add 2x plus x, you get back 3x plus 1. Then minus, then I have the 17, I put the 17, then multiplied by, now I have 2 to the power of 2x here. Remember, I factored out 2 to the power of x, so I have just 2 to the power of x left. Close the bracket, then plus. Then, of course, I'll put 2 to the power of x out. So here I have 2 to the power of 3, all equal to 0. Now, based on the fact that 2 to the power of x is multiplying everything in this bracket, we have the right to say 2 to the power of x is equal to 0. But we know there's no way you can make anything 2 to the power of something to give you 0. So therefore, we know that 2 to the power of x cannot be 0 in this case. So since it cannot be 0, what I am going to do is that I'm going to divide both sides. Divide both sides by 2 to the power of x. So if I divide both sides by 2 to the power of x, what I'm going to have will be what is in this bracket. Because 2 to the power of x here will divide 2 to the power of x. Then 0 divided by 2 to the power of x will still give me 0. So I will have everything inside the bracket now to be equal to 0. So this becomes 2. Therefore, 2 to the power of 2x plus 1 minus 17 multiplied by 2 to the power of x plus 2 to the power of 3 equal to 0. Now, what do we have left? I can rewrite this. And how do I rewrite this? I can now say 2 to the power of x squared, because 2x is the same as x times 2, multiplied by 2 to the power of 1 minus 17 multiplied by 2 to the power of x. 2 to the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, equal to 0. Then at this place, I can now say that what? I can put p to be 2 to the power of x. So if p is equal to 2 to the power of x, that means this will be 2. This is p squared. This is 2. Then 2 to the power of x has become p. So this is p squared, 2p squared, minus 17 p, then plus 8 equal to 0. Now, I want to solve this using quadratic formula or using the other method. So I want to use the factorization method to be faster. So I put my 2 brackets. We've treated this in previous lesson. Check the description of this video to see the link to this particular video as well. Now, I will put a p here and put a p here. Then 8 multiplied by 2 is 16, positive 16, because plus 8 times plus 2 is positive 16. Then I have negative 17. Two numbers that when I multiply them, I will have positive 16. And when I add them, I will get negative 17 and minus 16 and minus 1. So minus 16 plus minus 1 gives me minus 17. And minus 16 times minus 1 gives me what? Positive 16. So, but I have a coefficient of 2 in this leading coefficient. So I have to divide this by 2 and divide this by 2. So 16 divided by 2 gives me 8. So I'll just replace this with 8. Then this becomes 2p minus 1 because I'll multiply each of the terms here by 2. So this will become 2p, then minus 1. So what does this mean? It then means that from here, p minus 8 will be 0, or 2p minus 1 will be 0. So if p minus 8 equals to 0, it simply means that p will be equal to 8. Or if 1 goes here, it turns to positive since it crosses the equal to sign. So therefore, p here will now become what? Positive 1 over 2, which is the same as 2 to the power of negative 1. But we are not asked to find the value of p. Remember, I was the one that introduced p here. So I will now go back to report that what? Recall that my 2 to the power of x is equals to p. Let me say if p is 8, and 8 is the same as 2 to the power of 3, therefore 2 to the power of x will be 2 to the power of 3. And we know that when the bases are equal, the powers are the same. So this implies that my x is equals to 3. Or, remember, if p is equals to 2 to the power of negative 1, like we have here, so that means that 2 to the power of x will be 2 to the power of minus 1. So therefore, this implies that my x will be what? Negative 1. That is the result. Those are the two values. Those are the two real values of x, 3 or negative 1. You can always confirm your result to see if you are correct. X back into the equation, and you get back your what? You get that this part will come what? 0. This brings us to the end of today's class. So kindly click on the subscription button if you've not done so, and share this video to your friends and loved ones so that we can all enjoy simplified maths. Bye.